Hello and welcome to a special sort of bonus episode of Without the Kick to Ball. Something a little bit different. We're going to be covering a little bit of the World Cup, going to be with a sprinkling of the Champions League final, and we're also going to be covering something, the Sidemen charity match. And by the way, the news was today that Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf were leaving Doctor Who. What a complete mess they left the show in. But someone who does not leave a mess and always brings lovely order into where he goes is Mr. Sam Taylor. Hello.
Oh, thank you, Will. I thought you'd forgotten what show we were on then when you started
No,
on
absolutely no. I
Doctor
was just you know me. I like to sort of try stitch things together.
Who. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, all good. Hello, everyone. Yes, a medley of stuff today. It is just for now, anyway. Me and Will, I, Sam Taylor, and TubeMix himself. Um, And we have a medley today, a medley of things. Yeah, so something a bit different for you all to enjoy. A
Yeah,
bit
exactly.
like,
Hopefully we won't be out of tune.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we can do a good job and do the Sidemen charity match a good a good tribute. So
And
yeah.
I just want to say this episode is kind of dedicated to Amy Clark. So if you're watching this, Amy, if you're watching this, Ames, then hello to you.
Yes, hello, Ames. Up in Scotland, of course. So not the closest to us, but we can bring we can bring the joy to all of you around the world. So,
Exactly.
um, yeah. So I hope you enjoy this one, Ames. This is for you, as it is for everyone. It's a
Absolutely.
nice, light, um, light-hearted episode with the serious situation of charities, which is fundamental to society.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So shall we crack on?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, over to you to sort of steer us through the game as
Mm,
the best of your abilities.
absolutely. So, the Sidemen charity match. You are wondering what is this um charity match if you've not seen it? Well, we've seen over the last few years charity matches in charity and football um are a really good match
Mm.
as um it has brought football has helped to bring to light many causes and
And
famous.
as do other sports as well. Sport
Absolutely,
as a concept brings
a
people
sport
together.
as a concept and famous people and influencers helping to raise money for charities through an event like a football match, or we see a lot of tennis uh charity matches and stuff like that. So it really has become a very vital part of sport and a vital part of
Of
football
life, I guess, yeah.
and of life and changing people's lives. Um, but today we're going to focus on the charity match between uh, the YouTube All Stars and the Sidemen.
Yeah.
The Sidemen FC, and the match was held at Wembley recently, and what a game it was! These are YouTubers that came together to raise money for um very special causes, um, and yeah, what a game it was. It was the side men, most notably uh led by KSI, the Britain's Got Talent judge and long-standing YouTuber. Other famous names included in the match, Angry Ginge. Shout out to Angry Ginger. Of course, I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Winner last year. So fantastic. Um, as well as a mixture of other famous YouTubers who have all done amazingly in their own fields and came together to deliver this great match. And the match itself was held at Wembley Stadium, where thousands of people attended. This was a few months ago, April the 18th, Saturday, April the 18th. But it is important now to highlight it and to go through it. So it finished the Sidemen FC 10, the YouTube All Stars 10. What a high scoring game!
Yeah, madness.
I watched the game myself. Lots of goals, lots of mistakes, lots of tired legs, lots of skill on show. A bit of everything. It was an amazing game. An amazing advert for charity. You could see that the effort that everybody had put in to make this event happen. I think that I'm right in saying that it was 10 this year marked 10 years since the first Sidemen
Oh my god,
charity
10 years.
uh,
Wow.
charity match. It is not traditionally an annual event, like some like Soccer Aid and stuff like that, but by no means any less important. And yeah, and it was 10-all, with the YouTube All Stars winning um 4-1 on penalties. So plenty of goals. I think looking back at the highlights, the goalkeepers weren't too happy. It was 10-all, but it could have been 20-all. Of course, we all know Wembley's a big pitch as well to
It is
play on,
certainly, yeah.
so I'm sure these YouTubers of all mixed abilities were um baking in the sunshine, and yeah, the ground they must have had to cover over the 90 plus minutes, I'm sure, um was not easy on the legs,
Yeah.
but worth it in every sense.
Yes.
The Sidemen is release. There's a Sidemen YouTube channel. Please go and have a look at that. They release uh, fresh episodes every Sunday. So yes, we talk about football as well as many topics on life. Set up by a group of friends, including KSI, who actually were all playing Grand Theft Auto, all friends online playing Grand Theft Auto, and now they are
Now it's just
um,
absolutely exploded.
now they are recognisable figures throughout the UK and the world in lots of cases. So a fantastic match. Yeah, obviously it was very competitive. Uh, yeah, no stone was left unturned. No stone was left unturned. It was fast, ferocious. Um, it was lively. It was vibrant. It was full on. But of course, the football came second um, to the charities. there were two charities that um, this game was raising money for. They were Brightside charity. Brightside is a um, is a grant charity that raises money for other charities that help young people find homes and helps with education and safe spaces to learn for disadvantaged people and people who are struggling within society, and to help them to grow as individuals and as people. And we all know how difficult the world can be out there. And for some people who don't necessarily have an easy start in life, or find difficulties, we all need that help and that um space to learn, and there's no right, way of ladder to take. We all find ourselves in different positions,
Yep, absolutely.
as I'm
We're all
as I'm
different
sure.
chess pieces along the board.
Absolutely, and we all need help at different times. So a fantastic enabling charity there that provide grants for other charities to help people uh, improve education, find safe spaces to live, and improve their confidence. So fantastic! And if you want to look, please um, look on the Brightside Charity website for more information.
Yep,
But that was also, that charity was set up by the Sidemen, so a
yep,
very close to their heart. Um, and I'm sure Will won't mind me saying, I'm sure you guys have realised by our videos that we are wheelchair users,
absolutely. Yep,
and I won't name this because obviously it's a video, but we went to a school for people with physical disabilities, which
absolutely.
helped
Yes, yes.
which helped us and gave us extra time to learn, and was adapted for us. We
And
got
helped us on
physio
the
and
vital life steps that we, now. So, yeah.
yeah, because things took longer, so we had physio, we had longer to do our coursework, things like that, and we're in an environment where we could be helped physically and also along our educational journey. And I think charities like this will, uh, in times where financially councils are under a lot of strain,
Yes, yeah.
especially when it comes to education. So charities, to continue to support education and people to be able to learn and have the same opportunities and eventually go into careers,
Yeah,
is to
absolutely.
it is of their choice is so important.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
vital. You can't
you could
you
argue
can't deny that. Yeah.
You could argue that charities are more important than ever,
Yes. Yes, they
in the
are.
current, in around the world and in this country.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because there are people struggling out there. But what's a great way to bring joy to people and a celebration of the
Absolutely.
bright
Yep.
of the bright side charity. And there was another charity as well that this brilliant match um helped raise massive funds for. And to take you through that one, I'll pass over to the main man.
Oh, well, thank you. So, yeah, it's Seven Education, and basically what they do is, well, help set up workshops and sort of school trips for students really. So yeah, and gives them sort of really great really great experiences and to make sure they don't miss out. So they do a they they, they clearly do a fantastic job.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we all know that the trips and things, trips can be difficult, especially in
Mm,
today's financial difficulties.
yes.
So it's important that families and children in education, or teenagers in college or whatever it might be,
Yeah,
have
exactly.
have the opportunity to experience trips that will improve and possibly even change their lives for forever. Um, and
Mm.
I think I just want to get your view, well, in the current um climate, on how matches like this and events like this are so important for charities and to be able to keep running, and for the people, of course, that they help. We
Oh,
mentioned earlier.
blimey. Well, yeah, I guess all I can say is yeah, in this climate, it's vital, obviously, that that they continue to do their good work because yeah, without events like this, yeah, they might not. Yeah,
And then we see events like Soccer Aid, which has
exactly.
a mixture
In
of
aid of UNICEF.
celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah, UNICEF. Do you do you want to talk a little bit about about UNICEF? Obviously, that's a charity is a long-standing charity as well, isn't it?
Oh,
So,
yes,
um,
yeah. I mean, yeah, UNICEF do lots of great work. Yeah, help countries all around the world who are struggling, and yeah, Soccer Aid is one of the key events that helps them to keep doing what they do, basically. Yeah,
and I bet Soccer Aid has inspired the Sidemen.
yeah. I would
That was
imagine
set
so.
up
I
by
think Soccer Aid.
Robbie
What was it?
Williams,
The
wasn't it?
first one was 2006, wasn't it? I believe.
Yeah, yeah, set up by Robbie Williams, of course.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then we've seen obviously the Sidemen charity matches, but also the match for the Grenfell Tower disaster, raising money
Mm,
for that and the victims of that. So these things really can and do
absolutely.
change lives. So yeah, it's so important that people continue to make these charities known, and so that they can continue to help people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And now it's harder than ever in the current climate, because we understand that people, you
Mm.
know, and charities understand that people can't necessarily give
Well,
money all the
exactly.
time,
Yeah.
but even like voluntary help, or helping a charity
Oh,
voluntarily,
yeah. It still makes a big
that's
difference. Yeah.
amazing. I definitely I think we all owe charities a massive debt,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
they've
Absolutely.
helped us all, most of us, at some point in our lives. But yeah, the match was great. It was fantastic, and a great day, a great spectacle. And also, you know, we speak a lot about on this show about social media and its good uses and its not so good uses, but
I will always wave the flag for the good of social media.
well, the reason I bring it up, well, is because you look at this match, and how many people attended it. I think
Well,
there was
exactly.
well
I mean,
over
one of the great
well
things
over
social media. I
twenty
mean,
thousand.
even if people holding like a village fete and asking if people can come and people notice it. So yeah, things like this and social events are really what social media should be used for, really. Yeah, and I
Without
absolutely
social,
believe
yeah.
very strongly in the positives of social media, and I will always wave that flag for the good of social media.
Yeah, and it just shows because back in the even 20 years ago, the idea of having this with thousands of people turning up to watch and donating was a dream for most people.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly. I mean, if you were going to do an event like this 20 years ago, obviously, it'd be best, you know, the best way to do it would be broadcasting it on, say BBC One or ITV1 or some the traditional
or,
linear
or the
TV
radio,
channels.
or the radio.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So, yeah, it just shows how the media landscape has changed so drastically.
and how many people you can get involved now from all over the country or all over the
Well,
world.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. And like I said, I mean, I'm sort of going to go on a sort of a mini passionate rant here, but I am fed up of just hearing about the negatives of social media. Sometimes I think we forget the good and the positive sides of social media. And what annoys me, what pisses me
this,
off is it
yeah,
just seems to be sort of one side, really. And I think people tend
which
to forget that. And I knew in 2020, when we were hearing about the good stuff that, about social media, I was, well, I just hope after all this chaos of the pandemic happens, then people will remember the good bits of social media. But no, it's gone back onto the same argument again and again. And so yeah, I am fed up of we just people just seem to remember the bad side rather than remembering the good side as well.
let's bring it back to this. Well, and I think
Yes,
the
yes,
the
yes. I'm sorry, Sam. I just
the
needed to get that off
the
my chest.
the the power of YouTube and the power of these YouTubers who were unknown for a long time and then have become huge now and can set up events like this. It's absolutely amazing. So good
Absolutely,
on them. Good on them. And
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Good on them.
using their influence to help
Using
to
their
help
influence for
people.
good and using their fame for good, and that's the best thing you can do if you're in the public eye. Turn it into something useful to help people, to entertain people, to make people happy. You use it for the good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Which is an amazing thing. Just to alert everyone as well. So far that the for the various charities, the match has raised uh over £14.7 million.
Oh, that's
Uh,
amazing,
for
particularly in these
for the
in these choppy waters of this financial climate. So that is just absolutely amazing. And
for
we
the
know from,
various
like, for example,
for
the
the
children in need
various yeah.
challenges that people do, like the Radio 2 DJs doing their dance-a-thons and stuff. We know that in times of tough, people still, even if they can only give a little bit, they still give.
Absolutely, and yeah, that's amazing. That's an amazing effort, and of course that is currently because these charities will hopefully receive donations throughout the years. The year we obviously spoke about the two main charities, but Brightside help uh other charities get the money as well. So it's a brilliant boost for British charities. It's
Absolutely,
brilliant
yeah,
to
yeah.
see. And also the power we're about to see, the power of sport with the World Cup.
We are, yeah.
Which brings people together.
Absolutely, yeah.
From all over the world. You might not speak the same language. You might have different cultures, but football brings everyone together, and I think that's what this amazing
Absolutely, that
charity.
that that is brilliant. Yeah, and in fact, doing a sweepstake is actually a really good thing to bring people together. Lots of offices will be, of course, doing that. And in fact, can I just interrupt Sam by saying that I actually appeared very briefly. If you're watching this in the UK, I appeared very briefly on the One show about this.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so
Um,
sorry, I'll bring it back to you in a moment. But I was coming back from London from the brilliant Pixar experience, and these people said, "Oh, excuse me, we'd like to talk to you about the World Cup. We're doing this thing about the One show. You have to pick a team out of the hat, and yeah, and yeah, and so I picked a team out of the hat, and it was Croatia, and yeah, talked a bit about that, and they asked me who my favourites were, other favourites were, and I said France, and and they also said, what about Thomas Tuchel, and I said, well, yeah, I think Thomas Tuchel has probably the best chance out of any England manager because of the trophies he's won, and yeah, I just want to shout out to the entire production team, the camera operator, the boom operator, and Kevin Jawala, who interviewed us. Thank you guys. It was absolutely a wonderful opportunity, and yeah, was very chuffed to do that.
and being in the right place at the right time,
Well,
Will,
yeah,
as well.
exactly. And of course, one of the questions, do you think sweepstakes bring people together? And I said, well, yeah, I didn't think of it that deeply, but yes. And so, yeah, that's a great example of the World Cup. So
Yeah,
thinking
well,
about bringing people together.
football brings people together, and people a lot of the time can forget their troubles and forget or put
Exactly.
them to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
back of the mind, and go and have a pint with somebody. I remember being at uni during the last World Cup,
yeah,
uh, the 2022, in Qatar, and I was at uni in Preston, and
yeah,
I went to a nightclub, and there was a guy there in a Croatia t-shirt actually, and he was Croatian, and we got chatting, and he couldn't really speak a lot of English, but one thing that brought us together was football. Because I said, "Oh, I love your shirt," and he had Modric on the back. Uh,
oh, fantastic. Yeah,
and it wasn't like we could have like massive in-depth conversations, it brought us together, and then we were talking about the World Cup, and yeah, it was brilliant, and it just, football can unite, and more than just, far bigger than trophies, or anything like that, um
yeah,
is
absolutely.
is
It's about that shared
is
experience. Yeah,
and things like this, and money for charities, and
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
using the
So,
power of the influence, but also the power of the game for good.
yeah, absolutely.
So good on the side, men. And
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I definitely recommend you check out their YouTube channel, free to watch, and yeah, some great episodes on there. Yeah, about all different subjects. So please do uh look at that if you can and when you can. And yeah, congratulations to everybody involved, the organisers,
Absolutely. Yeah.
the YouTubers, Wembley itself for putting a bigger, for putting an event on, and making it bigger because it's at Wembley as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
fantastic. To the fans who went, to the people who went, brilliant. Yeah. So, and yeah, like I said, we are massively in debt to charities. Again, me and Will, probably, I don't want to speak for you, Will, but with wheelchairs and stuff, I've had help through charities who have been very,
yeah. I mean, yeah, we both had our fair share of help from charities.
yeah,
So
so,
we wouldn't be where we are without them. Quite simply.
absolutely. So we get it. We absolutely have been um benefited from kind charities that have helped us out. So
That have helped
yeah,
shaped
and
our
been there
lives.
for
Yeah, absolutely.
been there for us. So well done to all charities out there, big and
Absolutely.
small.
Keep shining that beacon of light.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Keep shining that beacon of light. Um, right. Um, do we? Are you? We do have um a couple more things for you today on this medley of uh the without having kicked a ball bonus special.
Yep,
Do you ready to go on to the Champions League? Well,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I will let you just remind everybody of the two teams in the final as
Yeah,
we got to
so
the
it was,
final.
yeah, it's the Champions League final, and once again, for the uh, for multiple times this season, we had all English teams in the final of a European competition. Aston Villa, of course, won the Europa League. Crystal Palace won the Conference League, and Arsenal were facing last year's Champions League winners, PSG, Luis Enrique's PSG, in the Champions League final. So
Absolutely.
yes, could the answer is could Arsenal do that? Could Arsenal knock PSG's sort of dominance off? And
European Cup for the first time.
yeah, absolutely. And Arsenal had never won. I think the Champions League in its current form, because the champ.
Yes. All the top European Cup. They've never won the European Cup.
Oh right. Oh. I thought they might have won the old European Cup. No. Okay.
Yeah, so the old European Cup, which became the Champions League, so
That's
you could
right. Yeah,
say
and I
it's the
think that
same company.
1993. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 92, around the same time the Premier League
Exactly. Yeah. Where
was.
football really changed. Well, maybe for the better and maybe for the worse. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
but
changed anyway. So it was PSG one, Arsenal one. Kai Havertz.
it,
Oh, sorry.
it was, yeah. Go on, Will, carry on.
Yeah, Kai Havertz in the 6th minute, getting a very lucky goal, I must say, for Arsenal. Sort of came out of nowhere, assisted by Leandro Trossard, and then
I
Dembele.
don't know if it was lucky because Arsenal were on top.
Well. I think a lot of people thought they were quite lucky with that goal, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the game and it was a good finish by Havertz.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. After Arsenal pressed up the pitch, and Havertz, of course, was Chelsea scored Chelsea's winning goal
That's
in the
right. Yeah,
Champions
for
League final.
Thomas Tuchel, funnily enough, wasn't it?
Yeah, against Manchester City in the
Yeah.
2020 in the
In
All
I
English
think
time.
2022, wasn't it? Yeah.
21,
21. Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, one year out,
2021.
as Ken Bruce would say.
So yeah, the man for the big occasion. Eyebrows were raised as informed striker Victor Gyökeres was left out of the side for
Yeah,
Arsenal for the.
that was a bold call from Mikel Arteta.
And Arsenal played very, very well. Were defensively brilliant,
Oh
obviously.
yeah. Defensively, they were brilliant, and Miles Lewis Skelly was again looked really comfortable as well. Didn't put a foot wrong.
In midfield, he has played fullback, but apparently his natural position is midfield in the under
Yeah.
18s and 21s, and you can sort of see that as well when he plays.
Yeah, and
His
he's
natural.
19, but he looks like he's got the confidence, like he's been playing for years. He just looks so assured. I don't know with what you think, Sam, but
Yeah, yeah, it was that he certainly has, and he's come from nowhere. Was quite regularly last
that's right.
season.
Yeah, because he was
Uh,
in last season because they had a lot of injuries like Calafiori and uh, yeah, and people like that. So he played left back.
Ben White,
Oh
and
yeah.
players
That's
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So so um, it's but this season he struggled for
This
game
season he
time at
struggled, and then Martin
fullback.
Zamendi.
But then
I think Arteta. Well, initially rested him because it was starting to show fatigue. Because don't forget this is his first season in the Premier League, and he's played probably maybe more games than he would have done for. I think it was Bilbao, wasn't it, that he played for?
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he played more games than he did Bilbao. So he rested him and then gave Lewis Skelly a chance. And since then, Lewis Skelly has really, you know, has not looked back really. And in fact, it seems Zumendi's place in the team is, well, a big threat really. At threat.
Question mark at the minute. The only thing with that is young players do go up and down in form, so
That
I'm
is true,
sure.
but Lewis Skelly, I mean, has generally, even in the left back position, he's generally been very consistent. Generally, he's
Yeah,
very rarely
but
put a foot wrong. In fact,
but
I can't think of any
um,
mistake or any bad performance that he's played.
I think uh, I think Zubimendi's chance will come because Arsenal are in so many competitions. However, let's get back to the
Yeah,
game.
sorry.
Uh,
Dembele with a
Arsenal.
penalty in the 65th minute to equalise, and I must admit, I was so good because I thought, oh no, Arsenal could hold on. Oh
Yeah, it was a penalty. A tangle of legs. I think it was. Um, Lesca, what's his name? Scalia, um, and yeah, it definitely was a penalty, um,
yeah, and
and
it was such a shame because I felt gutted for Mascara because he again he generally.
mascara, because he played very well in the game.
Yeah. And generally, when he's played for Arsenal, he's been really fantastic. So it's just a shame, really. But
And Arsenal's game plan was fantastic. Although PSG were having a lot of the ball, Arsenal were in a block. It was a deep block, but then at times it would press, but they pressed at the right time so they wouldn't get picked off. And the game plan, I have to say,
absolutely.
the game plan from Mikel Arteta was outstanding. But just one moment of trickery um, allowed, uh, and switch off allowed the penalty, and Dembele, who did not nothing else in the game, scored it.
Absolutely. Oh, and I
Um,
have to say, David Raya, special shout out for him. He was generally fantastic as well.
he has been all season. Um, so it was 1-1 after normal time, and after the penalty, you would say Arsenal, even though they had less of the ball, to that point were the better team because PSG were really struggling to create, and Arsenal were catching them on the counter attack.
Yeah.
But after the penalty, PSG were the better side, and probably Arsenal had a couple of chances, but PSG on the break, as we know, they can break really well, and could have won it. Were probably the better side after the penalty,
Yeah,
which
although
was
I was saying,
scored
yeah,
in.
but Arsenal was still played very well though.
They did, and you have to be prepared when you're playing PSG to have a lot of time without the ball, and they'll sap your energy. But Arsenal picked the moments to break very, very well.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
so they were locked together, and then extra time. Uh, PSG probably should have scored, but didn't. And then it went to penalties,
Yeah,
and it finished on penalties. PSG 4, Arsenal 3. Heartbreak for Arsenal.
I know. I was
Uh,
watching it on the highlights and following it on the live text, and I was gutted because I thought, oh, they were so close. I really wanted them to win the Champions League. One, because I wanted not the same winner, and two, because I wanted to complete all these, English teams winning European trophies as
well,
well.
well, the penalties went like this. PSG went first, which I think always helps. Um, and Ramos stepped up to them, and it was at the PSG end and scored. Victor Gyökeres then stepped up and scored to make it 1-1. Uh, Doué, Desiree Doué stepped up and made it 2-1. And then this is where it starts to unravel a little bit. Abere Eze um, went to give the keeper the eyes, and yeah, completely missed the target, um, which put PSG in a clear lead. However, a great save from David Raya
Oh yeah,
made it
absolutely brilliant save.
made it all square as Nuno Mendes' penalty was saved. Then captain or vice captain as he is, sorry, Declan Rice, so cool, stepped up and scored. Um, Hakimi buried his penalty. Gabriel Martinelli um, buried his penalty. Um, before uh, uh, but Beraldo buried his penalty, and unfortunately, this was at sorry, at uh, yeah, at 3-3, and um, uh, Gabriel stepped up. He had to score to. Oh, sorry, this was at 4-3 PSG, and it was sudden death, and Gabriel had to score to keep Arsenal alive. Obviously, both teams had missed a penalty each, but because PSG went first, that put the pressure on the Arsenal centre back, who um, who bravely stepped up, but blazed his effort over the bar,
Yeah,
which was a real shame. But there's no blame on him because it's brave to step up and take a penalty. We've all missed them, um, and yeah, PSG, the Champions League winners, weren't always plain sailing, probably weren't as fluid. They were at times last in the throughout the competition, highlight the first leg against Bayern Munich, but probably not quite as good as last year, but still too good for the rest.
yeah. Although
And
what I
they
would say, Arsenal can take comfort in. Last year PSG I think battered what was it Inter 5-0 or something. They absolutely put them to
5-0
the
and
sword.
Milan 5-0. Yeah.
So
So
for
and
for this
Arsenal
time
were
for this time to take them all the way to penalties and to just
yeah.
miss out, You know, it still shows that a great step. And actually, Arsenal didn't make it to the final last year, and then they did. So they're still there is progress.
They got beat pretty easily by PSG last year, who knocked them out. So
Yeah,
they've
yeah. So
closed,
I
they've
think
closed
Arsenal
the
could
gap.
still be very proud. Yeah,
Yeah, they'll learn a lot. It was 20 years since they made the Champions League final. Their
yeah.
only other appearance, obviously, were probably roughly about half an hour away from winning it, given added time. But it wasn't to be. But um, funnily enough, Will, the very next day, they must have flown back in the mixed feelings because the very next day they had the
Oh, of
trophy
course, yeah,
parade for
yeah,
the.
exactly. It's still been a good season. I mean, they managed to win the trophy that everyone wanted them to win. Really, was the Premier League. So yeah,
Yeah, and they hadn't won it for 22 years, and had played, to be fair, won the Premier League and been in two finals. So, okay, they didn't come out on top there, but after heartbreak that City have given them in the last few years, managed to win the league. So, uh, I'm sure it's gutting for those players, but they'll have learned so much and be ready to go again next
absolutely,
year.
yeah.
Just,
Let's hope they can
just,
make that final step next year.
just Just a word on PSG. Well, obviously they had a few years ago the superstars of Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, and PSG were all, and even before them, PSG
Yeah,
had
we're
loads of
going
money,
even back to
money,
like
and
Ibrahimovic and people like that.
yeah, Cavani, and we're always seen as the underachievers. Never had never won the European Cup
No,
in any of its formats at the top level. I don't know if they'd ever actually won a European Cup in general, but they, got rid of their superstars, brought Enrique in, eyebrows were raised when all these youngsters and so-called the star names now, but the likes of Desiree Douay, the likes of Fabian Louise, the likes of Jean, uh, Jean Neves, the likes of Martinia,
yeah, yeah,
who were
something like that. Yeah.
Martinia, who was at Wolves and couldn't get in the Wolves side a couple of years ago, and now he's one of the best midfielders in Europe. Nuno Mendes, but William Pacho, even the goalkeeper who's come in for uh,
Donnarumma.
the
Yeah.
world beater that is Donnarumma,
Mm.
and the question marks were raised about him, and so they got rid of all these stars, brought Enrique in, and they've shown they can play all different styles. They can defend. They defended their lead against Bayern
Yes.
in the second leg of the semi-final, having gone all guns blazing in the first leg, both teams. But then they
Oh, I tell you
defended
what, that was a
resolutely.
good game, wasn't it? I remember following that on live text.
Mm. And they can also attack well. So what was a team?
Yeah, and I
And
think, I referenced this. I mean, this didn't make it into the one show, but I referenced that football teams, they they sometimes you can have big names, but you've got to work well as a unit. And I think PSG, this team, as it seems that this team don't have egos. The problem is when you get established names like Ibrahimovic and people like that, and Neymar and Mbappe, they've got the egos. They're already big stars. The beauty about this PSG team is these players have were kind of I, this is going to sound harsh, but it's quite true. Nobody's in terms of their star status, and they've
yeah,
grown into these
a lot of them, and now they
yeah,
are
into these superstars.
superstars.
Yeah,
But then, and as big as superstars as the names you mentioned before, but they've grown as a collective, and
exactly,
there's some
and
big,
that's what you need as a football team. You need to work well as a
yeah,
unit.
and there's some big, um, there's some the big advantage of that is some of them have come through the academy together, so
Exactly, yeah,
yeah,
and that makes it
yeah,
even more sweeter.
and maybe these are players that bar one or two have had something to prove. So PSG went in a different direction. We've seen Chelsea buy into youth, but maybe too much youth where PSG still have a sprinkling of
Experience,
experience.
exactly.
But they are a young group, and they're one of the youngest teams. Were one of the youngest teams in the Champions League, which is scary for everybody
Yes,
else
yes,
because
it is. Yeah,
they're, they're probably going to get better, and it's up to everybody else to to catch up. But I also we say a lot about the French league, and we have on this show over the
oh
years,
yeah, yeah. I remember us saying,
uh,
calling it a farmers league and stuff. Yeah,
and to be fair, obviously PSG in general, not always, but in general, have won that pretty comfortably
yeah,
over the last 15, 20 years. Not won it every year, but pretty much.
yeah. It's generally
8 out of
PSG or it's
10.
Monaco, isn't it? Generally.
Yeah, but there are a few exceptions to that. But they are, you know, they Enrique's come in and gone, okay, we got all this money, but let's change the culture.
Mm,
Let's change it I know they were winning leagues, so you can't say and cups, so you can't say they didn't have a winner's mentality, but they were so much better than the rest in their league. It was like, right, how do I get them to win the Champions League? A bit like um, they've got over that mental block in the Champions League, and in a different scale, of course, because of the size of club, the money the players have got. But a bit like Crystal Palace, I
yes.
remember, um, I remember Joel Ward before the final or earlier this season in the Europa Conference League when Palace was saying we're playing, and obviously they'd won the FA Cup last season and were going well, and ended up winning the Conference League. Joel Ward said um, that Glasner, something like, don't quote me on this, but something like, oh, he turned us in from dreamers to believers.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I could certainly believe it because that would sort of line up.
and he was like he changed the whole mentality of the club, not just the players, but the
The whole culture, the
hierarchy,
whole atmosphere.
the club that they could achieve something, that they had the players and lost players, and still he changed the culture, and that's been the same with PSG. You could say they've lost Mbappe, and
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
thought,
Lost
you
Mbappe,
know,
lost Neymar. Yeah.
well, Neymar and Messi in a slightly different category because they were older, but
Oh, that is true. Yeah, yeah.
but Mbappe's in his prime, so and they had all that. Was he going to Real Madrid for years, and he didn't, and then they ended up going, and yeah. So, but yeah, fantastic for PSG and for French football. Um, I wanted Arsenal to win, just being an English
Well,
club.
and
However,
also not having the same winner again.
I do think English sides in the last few years have taken over the Europe quite a bit.
No,
So it
no.
is. Well, you've had West Ham, Chelsea winning the Conference League. You've had City winning the Champions League. You've had Liverpool winning the Champions League. You've had Chelsea winning it. You've had, you know, Like there's been a lot recently of English clubs, so it is important for the competition that other countries still have a say because we know how rich the Premier League is,
Oh well, yes,
and
yes,
how
yes. That
and
is
how
true. Actually, yeah.
and how ahead it is of other leagues. So
I mean,
yeah,
I
fair
really
play.
wanted. I mean, if Arsenal weren't going to win it, for
Oh, I
example.
wanted Arsenal. I'm just saying, you don't want it to become a monopoly either, and it would have threatened to do that if we'd have won all three
Oh
at the
yeah, yeah,
European.
yeah. That is true. And I also
But
the other team I did want to win. I mean, obviously they didn't get to the final. Was Bayern Munich because although have Bayern have won it, but I wanted Vincent Company to win it because I think that would be brilliant in winning the Champions League as a manager.
yeah, and they're a classy. Bayern Munich are a classy club. What I mean about that, well, everybody that's played against Bayern Munich says what a well-run club. You know, Real Madrid are like misbehave and
Well,
pretend
yeah,
they're
the
bigger than them.
so-called Galacticos, yeah, with
But maybe no, not just that. With the way they behave, with there was the thing with Vinicius Junior because he didn't win the Ballon d'Or,
oh
they didn't
well,
turn up,
yeah, yeah,
and the behaviour and that thing that's come out about Haaland, they use the image of Haaland in
oh
the
right, yeah,
presidential
yeah,
election because he said he would sign Haaland, but he's used an image of
yeah.
another player. Um, you know, and they misbehave. They act like the big bullies. Where Bayern Munich are a massive club, but
They have
they
their
are
dignity, don't they?
they are very classy. They don't get drawn up into things. They were one of the first teams for this European Super League to say the big teams were like, we're not joining that.
Yeah.
Um, and the Gary Neville and some of the United players being a United fan, I always um all the players I've heard on podcasts that played it against Bayern,
Yeah.
not even for them,
No,
said they
no,
were a
no, no,
classic.
against them, yeah.
Said said they were a classy club and they would always show respect and the officials would sorry the board would always like the way that they would approach like even when they approached Tottenham for Harry
Oh, yeah,
Kane,
yeah.
I remember I remember them saying that they didn't want to disrespect Tottenham and Harry Kane like they wanted him, but the way they went about
Absolutely.
and did
Yeah,
that
yeah. That's
was
brilliant.
with- was was with grace and with so I have a bit of a soft spot for Bayern Munich in that because they're so big, they're right up there with Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man
Oh,
United,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, they are.
Juventus,
Undoubtedly.
but yeah, they do they seemingly do all their business with on and off the pitch with dignity, and I respect that.
Yeah, so if Arsenal don't win the Champions League next year, the team I would really want to win it would be Bayern Munich so that Vincent Company as a manager could win the Champions League.
Well, obviously, Man United are back in it next year, pal. So, and I'm a Man United fan. But if a foreign team was to win it again next year, um, a- absolutely, I think Bayern are overdue. They've got a great team with the likes of Kane, Elise, Musiala.
Yeah,
You know, obviously for Neuer as well
yeah.
before he retires. So, and for company like you say, who's done brilliantly since he's gone there. I wasn't so sure after his you know in the Premier League with Burnley, but with better players, no disrespect to Burnley, it's worked out so far.
Well,
But I
exactly.
think
Yeah, yeah.
he'll be expected to win it next year. But it's never easy in the Champions League. You'd expect the likes of Madrid to be better. Obviously, the Arsenal been thereabouts. A City, we don't know what they're gonna look like. You can never write the likes of Juventus out and stuff like that. Although I'm not even sure they qualified for the.
No, no. Well, I mean, well,
So
Juventus have been in
they
free fall, haven't they,
qualified for
for a
the
good couple of
Europa.
years now?
They qualified for the Europa League, I think. But
Which is unthinkable because
anyway,
when Allegri first managed them, and they had all those great players, then yeah,
he's not the manager now, is he,
no, no,
Allegri? I
no, he's
don't
not.
think.
No,
No. Well, yeah. Was he called Maximilian
that yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Allegri? Yeah.
just going back to Allegri, I think for
Yeah. Um. So
easiness.
yeah,
Yeah.
disappointment for Arsenal. Obviously the final was in Budapest, in Hungary, for the first time actually
Was it?
in
Oh
the
wow.
uh,
Yeah.
in the uh, in the Puskas arena. You know, and that was named after Will,
No.
the legendary George Puskas,
I have to admit, mate,
who
I've never heard of him.
who was probably arguably the greatest Hungarian player of all time.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, better luck next year for Arsenal. Still a great season. Are we ready to
Oh
move
yes,
on?
yeah, 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 absolutely, mate. Yeah.
Do you want to try? Do you want me to do this final
I
section
think
or?
so. Yeah, yeah. For as we preview the World Cup. Yeah.
Right. So after 4 years, after lots of controversy regarding ticket prices, um, regarding uh, entry into the United
Mm,
States, which some fans have found very difficult. Um, with regarding political tension in football, um, with the political side. But as usual, the World Cup will go ahead, and it's a World Cup like no other. Because for the first time since it was changed in 1998, so the year before I was born, 2 years before Will was
yeah.
born, um, when the World Cup expanded to 32 teams, it has now expanded again to 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 48. Yes, 48 teams in this year's World
That is
Cup.
lunacy.
Um,
48 teams.
some people think it's too much because
Well,
the
yeah, I think it's a
obvious,
bit. It is a bit too much. I think
obviously
48.
the quality. People have said the quality of the more teams you add, the lower the quality of the competition.
Well, yes,
And
I think it's overkill to be honest.
it also means that there's added groups in this year's World Cup. The group stages are staying the same. There'll still be three teams. Sorry, uh, there'll still be four teams in each group, but there are more groups. And the top two will go through automatically to the knockout rounds, and um, some of the best third place teams will go through because this year there's an extra knockout round. I don't know if you knew this, Will. Obviously, with there being 48 teams, there is an extra knockout round.
Extra
So
knockout
instead
round.
of
Oh my god.
so instead of just the last 16, it will be the last 32.
Oh Christ
Then,
Almighty.
if you win that, it'll be the last 16. And if you win that, it'll obviously be the last eight. last 4 in the semis,
Oh
and
my
then
god, that
the
that just seems like
fi-
too much
the
overkill.
final the final 2 in the final before we have our winner
Just keep
in
it simple for
ar-
God's sake.
in around about a month's time. Um, shall I take you through the groups, Will,
Yes, absolutely,
for this
mate. Yeah.
year's World Cup, and you can tell me from which group you feel that which teams will do well, who to look out
Yeah,
for.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, it's always good because it's the only chance we get every 4 years to see, unless they play in our leagues, to see countries from from all around the
Yeah,
world,
absolutely.
and to see certain players that we'd never heard of. There's always players that we'd never heard of that
Yeah,
do
yeah,
really
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
I love I love watching the South American teams and their
Yes.
grit and determination. I love watching Brazil, obviously a classic
Well, yeah,
football
Brazil
team.
have got a lot of
But I just
steeped in
yeah,
football history, aren't they?
I just love the World Cup and the atmosphere. Although the ticket prices, which have been a massive talking point. Something in the region of $300 just to see one England game. Um, for some people, which equates to about 250 quid. Um, Tickets for the final, I think, are going from. There are some seats cheaper, but still ridiculous. Tickets for the final, I think, are going from £80,000. There was a guy on TV the other day that had of the radio, sorry, on Talk Sports, Scotland fan, that had to fork out £11,000 to go and
Right.
see Scotland. And they're just to see the games, let alone the travel, um,
Blimey.
and the costs there. But yeah, as usual, the World Cup will go ahead free to wear on the ITV
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
BBC
it's on the BBC and ITV.
as usual, and every match of this year's World Cup will be live. It's not just England games.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and pubs will be staying open for England and Scotland games in the UK later than usual
Oh,
because of the
excellent. Yeah,
time
yeah, that'll be good. Yeah.
difference. So I think something like, and don't quote me on this, if England games are at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, they'll stay open until about 2 in the morning.
Right. Yeah.
And they're also going to be, and I'll get your thoughts on this, Will, before we go through the groups.
Okay.
They're going to be serving, pubs are going to be allowed and bars to serve beers on the street,
Oh,
on the
really?
pay,
I don't think that's a good
on
idea.
the pavement. Now, this has
On the
caused quite a
pavement.
stir because some people think that's a really good idea and it'll get more people involved, probably because they've got outdoor
Well, it
screens
will,
and
yeah,
stuff.
but I think, oh
Uh,
no, I think
but
they're going to
then,
be
but
regretting
then,
it. Mark my words, there will be trouble.
but then, but then other people have said exactly there'll be trouble. People can't be trusted when they've had. The majority can, but there's always a few that will ruin it. And people were talking
Exactly.
about glass. People were talking about glass in the street. Um, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, exactly. Let it. Yeah, I don't.
for
That's not a good
for
idea at
for
all. You
for
know. So
passers by when these streets are for the public. The argument one guy said was you shouldn't be out and about at that time at night unless you're watching an England
well,
game.
absolutely. Yeah,
Um,
you should be at least indoors in the pub or in your own home. You know,
no,
in your
no,
own
he
home.
was
You know, it's fine. You know,
no,
if you want to
he
get
was
hammered,
saying
but
no, he was saying that the general public shouldn't be out during England games. but people have to go about their lives.
Well, yeah,
So,
exactly. You can't just close down the streets. I mean, yeah, that'd be ridiculous. Well, unsustainable. Yeah.
yeah, so you're not in favour of that. Well,
No, I think that's asking for trouble, really. And to be honest, I mean, yes, I'm someone who doesn't drink, but to be honest, alcohol does cause a, a lot of damage. It really does.
I'll ask you this question
Okay.
then. Uh, um, I'll ask you this question then. Will, um, do do you believe that alcohol shouldn't be served during England and Scotland World Cup matches to protect the rest of the public?
Not on the streets. If you're in the pub, then I suppose an argument could be made for that. Yeah, but yes, certainly not out on the pavement on the streets. I can just imagine, people very drunk and just barely able to keep themselves right. It just doesn't sound good to me. And of course, yes, the majority of the people will be responsible, but there'll be always some that will, might end up getting into fights or something. And I just, yeah, I, I don't know. I don't like that really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an interesting debate. I'm sort of on the fence. I can see why it could be good, but with the way and in other countries, I don't think it'd be a problem. But with our British culture, it might escalate. And like I say, the majority of people will be absolutely fine. But it's always the minority
Yeah,
that spoil
absolutely,
it for the
yeah. And look,
majority.
yeah, if, if
Uh,
if you want to get hammered in your own home, I mean, I don't know why you would in your right mind, but if you want to do, then at least you're safe. You you're not gonna, you know, uh, destroy other people's or experience.
So obviously we've got 16 more teams in this year's World Cup,
Oh my God, that's
which
ridiculous.
which um has created four more groups for the group stage.
Too much overkill.
And
Just because you should do it doesn't mean you should. That's just completely ridiculous.
so to go through, we have Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, Group G, Group H, Group I, Group J, Group K, and Group L. So um starting with Group A, with the first
Okay.
game tomorrow night, yes, at 8 o'clock British time. We'll see, and I'm very excited. We'll see Mexico take on South Africa. And in this group, Mexico obviously one of the host nations. It's split over Canada, the USA, and Mexico, which I quite like because it gives those three countries a chance to host the World
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, which I don't think is a bad
No,
thing.
no, no, it's
Because
not a bad thing at all. They're
say
all
you
getting to
just did
share
the
this.
USA, then the chances of it being in that region for Mexico and Canada again in the next 30 years are quite slim. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
quite like that move. Um, so in um, Group A, we have Mexico, and I always like watching Mexico. They generally don't go beyond the knockout stages, but I do like watching them. Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and the Czech Republic. Um, of those teams, Will, who do you think is going to finish in the top two?
Hmm. Well, I would probably say Mexico, and maybe South
Yeah,
Korea
cool.
with players like Son Heung-min, who I'm sure would be a really important player for them and score lots of goals because he's a fantastic player. Yeah, and in fact,
He's also
I know I
older
mentioned a long
now.
shot a bit, but that was one of the suggestions that Kevin mentioned to me was South Korea as well. So yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, South Korea, I'm sure will be good. Technically, very good. For me, so who you having finishing top of
Yeah,
the
sorry,
group?
Mexico
Me-
and South Korea.
so Mexico top,
South
South
Korea
Korea
second out of that
in
group A. Yeah.
second, going through. Yeah, and we'll have to see if one of the best third place teams get, goes gets gets out of this group or not, depending on how the others. I'm gonna differ slightly.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the top two in this group will be Mexico and Czech Republic.
Okay.
The Czech teams are always hard to um are always hard to break down, and we've seen in the World Cup defensively solid in
Mm.
tournament football. It's very important. I do think a special shout out for South Africa, who I think, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody at home, are only playing in their second ever World Cup after of course, hosting the 2010 World Cup. That's why
Oh
they
my
got in
yeah.
there. But they've also got in here. Um, so good on them and good luck. So it's Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czech Republic in Group A. Group B is Canada, Bosnia Herzegovina, who beat Wales in the playoff semi final, and then beat Italy in the final to of the playoffs to amazingly to qualify ahead of Italy at the 2024 Euro champions and
Yeah, what an
win
upset
previous
that was, especially with
multiple
Italy's history.
multiple winners of the World Cup, of course. Um, Canada, Bosnia Herzegovina. Sorry if I said that wrong, but Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. What are we thinking of this group? Well, quite an interesting
Yeah,
group.
I'm thinking Switzerland. They generally do quite well. And
Yeah,
then
I knew you.
probably Bosnia, yeah, as second.
Okay, I'm going for Switzerland top, Canada second, Bosnia Herzegovina third,
Okay, yeah, yeah. I
and
just said Bosnia. I mean, I know it's all one word, but
no,
just for
Bosnia's
easiness,
fine.
yeah.
Bosnia's and Qatar to finish last.
Okay.
Um, Group C, and one of, if not the most famous name in the World Cup, football nation. Who might I be talking about? Well,
Brazil.
yes, Brazil, uh, Morocco, Haiti, and our neighbours up north, Scotland.
Oh.
Who we have in? Who we have in?
Well, I think it's
In
got to be
this?
Brazil first, and then I think
Yeah.
second that is tough. I am going to go Scotland.
Scotland to qualify for the knockout stages of a major tournament for the first time.
Yes.
That is what you're saying.
Yes.
The first time Scotland have been in the World Cup, ironically, since 1998, where the tournament was expanded as
Oh
well in
wow. Yeah.
France.
Funny how things
So,
come around.
and then it's been expanded again and then again. Anyway, for me, I think we might be in for a bit of a surprise. I'm amazingly, because Brazil still have some great players, but they're not the Brazil of old. So I'm going to go Morocco to
Morocco,
top this
okay,
group.
right.
4 years ago, semi-finalists, of course, beat Spain along the way, and uh, narrowly missed out on the final. Anyway, Morocco to top the group, Brazil to go through in second, Scotland to finish third, and Haiti to finish fourth. Sorry, well, I didn't get you third and fourth. Who do you think is
Oh,
going to finish third and fourth?
well,
So
yeah,
you got
probably,
Brazil,
yeah,
Scotland.
Brazil, Scotland, uh, Haiti will finish fourth. Who was the other team? Sorry, in that group, Sam. Oh
Morocco.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go Brazil first, Scotland second, Morocco third, Haiti fourth.
Very good. Right. And then we go on to um, more more World Cup hosts. As in Group D, we have the United States of
Yeah,
America,
the
the
USA.
USA, led by
Mauricio
Maurizio
Pochettino.
Pochettino, sorry. Uh, United States, Paraguay, who are a South American team, looking for to get the better of their north the team that are north on their continent. United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. No, it isn't Christmas. Don't worry, Ian Holloway. The World Cup is not um, Christmas. This is Turkey, or if you prefer, Turkiya, as they are known
Is it?
locally.
Is it really? I
Um,
didn't know that. Wow.
yeah, it's the way we say
Yeah,
it.
I know.
So
I know about
England,
Czechia, but I didn't know about Turkey. Oh right.
but England, in the way we say it. When I went to Turkey on the board during the 2016 Euros, I was in Turkey,
Yeah,
and they called England Inglaterra.
England. Oh right.
Inglaterra,
They
yeah.
must have
I
a
don't know
thing
why
for
we don't just.
extending words. Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know why we don't just keep it all the same spelling, but there you go. United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey in Group D. What are we going for?
I'm
Well,
gonna go for. I'm gonna go for United States first. Turkey.
oh, home
Yeah.
crowd behind them.
Turkey second. Paraguay third. And apologies. Who was the other team?
So you said United States first.
Yes.
Then you said, did you say Turkey
Turkey
second?
second. Paraguay third. Yeah. Oh
Australia.
yeah, and Australia fourth.
See, I'm gonna go for uh, Turkey to top the group.
Oh okay.
Uh, United States to finish second. Paraguay third, and Australia fourth.
Okay.
Are we ready to move
Yeah,
on?
absolutely.
So in Group E, we have an interesting group because we have Germany,
Oh yeah.
of course, the 2014 champions.
Yes, they won it
Then
many
we have a
times.
new, then we have a new nation I've never heard of called uh, Caraco. Caraco,
Caraco.
who I who I think I hope I pronounce them right. Who I think are an island off the Netherlands.
Oh right, yeah, I've never heard of Caraco before.
An independent island off Holland, and 10 of their players were born in
Oh
Holland.
okay, right.
No, sorry. they've got 20, I think a 26-man squad,
Yeah.
and 25 of their players out of the 26 were born in
Oh
Holland.
right. Oh
So
okay.
they've been nicknamed the Holland B team.
Well, yeah, yeah. What makes you wonder why they didn't just play for the Netherlands?
Because they weren't good enough, probably.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so Germany, Morocco, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. What we have in here,
All
Will?
right. Well, Germany first.
Yeah,
Then let's see. Think Ivory Coast second.
yeah.
Morocco third. Sorry,
Okay.
what's the fourth one?
Ecuador.
Ecuador. Ecuador fourth. Yeah.
See, I'm gonna go Germany
Oh
top,
no, actually no, no. I'm gonna change
Ivory.
Ecuador third and then Morocco fourth.
I'm gonna go Germany top, Morocco. Uh, Germany top, Ivory Coast second, Ecuador third, and like you said, Morocco
Okay,
fourth.
right. Yeah.
I'm not basing that off anything else other than they've never been in a World Cup and I've never heard of the country.
Yeah, yeah.
So on to Group F now. This group consists of the Netherlands or Holland, if you prefer, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Um, yeah. So what are we thinking about this group? Well,
So, yeah. So Sweden in first, uh, Tunisia in fourth, Japan in third, and sorry, who else was in that group?
uh, Sweden.
No, 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 no. I've already said Sweden. They were first.
Oh, so you've said it then. Japan, because the group was the Netherlands, Japan,
Oh, oh,
Sweden,
oh,
and
oh, oh! I missed the
Tunisia.
Netherlands out. Right. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah. Sweden in first, Netherlands in second, um, Japan in third, and Tunisia in fourth.
See, I disagree because I happened to see Japan against England in a friendly a few months ago, and apparently Japan reckon they've got the best team they've ever had. So I'm gonna say
Oh, okay.
it is a tough group, though. I'm gonna say Japan to top the group.
Oh, that's
Sweden,
bold.
Sweden to finish second. Netherlands to have to hope on other groups, them being one of the strongest third place teams to finish third, and Tunisia to finish fourth.
Right.
Um, Group G, and one of the underachievers of their time, probably a bit like England's golden generation, Belgium. And in this group, Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. What we
Okay. I'm
thinking?
going Belgium first, Egypt
Yeah.
second, uh, Iran third, and New Zealand fourth.
So exactly as the order they're in.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Belgium to top the group, although I don't think they'll win the World Cup. Belgium to top the group. They're all the same. Belgium to top the group. They're all pretty similar, those teams. Iran to finish second, New Zealand to finish third, and Egypt to finish last.
Oh, okay.
That's my opinion. Group H. Now, we're starting to get towards the territory of new groups being added. I think Group H has always been in, but we're getting there. Group H is one of the tournament favourites, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. What we're thinking here? Well,
I'm gonna say Spain first, Uruguay second, um, Cape Verde fourth, and who else did you say? Sorry.
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, Saudi Arabia third. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think Uruguay and Spain and Uruguay will have too much. So Spain 1, Uruguay 2, Saudi Arabia
In fact,
3,
wasn't
although
it Uruguay that knocked out England in Euro 2016 and brought Roy Hodgson's tenure to a
no,
close?
that was Iceland.
Oh, that was Iceland. Oh, right, okay.
Uruguay are a very good footballing nation normally,
Right.
but Spain, not top, but they're a
They're
really
pretty
good
good, aren't they? Yeah.
country. Spain, Uruguay, I hope Saudi Arabia finish last, but I think they finished third, and Cape Verde to finish last in that group. This group is one of my
Nice.
favorite groups of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's one of my favorite groups of the tournament. We've got um, France, Senegal. This is Group I.
Yeah.
France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway.
Okay, I'm gonna go France first, Norway second. See, uh, Senegal,
Interesting.
uh,
Interesting.
Senegal fourth, and sorry, who else was in that group?
Iraq.
Iraq, and no, actually, I'm gonna go Iraq fourth, Senegal third.
Interesting. So you think Norway will finish above Senegal? I
Yes.
no, but it's possible because Norway have a good team with
Yeah,
um
yeah.
Haaland and
Oh,
what's his
exactly. Yeah,
name?
yeah.
Odegaard. Even though Haaland's English, but we won't get into that.
No.
Anyway, anyway, France to top this group, I think I'll have too much. I think Senegal's experience in major tournaments will
Yeah,
help
because
them a
of course
lot.
they
So
play in the AFCON, don't they?
yeah, and World Cup regulars,
Africa Cup of Nations, yeah.
but it wouldn't, and World Cup regulars as well. It wouldn't surprise me though if Norway did sneak in there instead of Senegal, but I'm gonna stick with Senegal. France top, Senegal sorry, France top, Senegal second, Norway third, and hoping that they're one of the best third place teams to get into the last 32. And Iraq fourth.
Yes.
Um, we come on to Group J now. And Group J uh, hosts the champions, the cup reigning champions, Argentina, um, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. I bet you'll love it when players called Jordan score. Well,
Yep.
this isn't a player. This is a country, Jordan.
Yes.
Um, so what we thinking here in Group
Uh,
J?
Argent-
Argentina,
Argentina first,
Algeria,
yeah.
Austria, Jordan. Sorry.
Argentina first, Austria second,
Yeah,
Algeria third, and Jordan fourth.
I agree. I agree. That's all I'll say. I think in that order. Yeah. Um. So in Group K, we've got Portugal, another one of the favourites.
Yes, yeah, big team.
Uh, Congo,
Oh,
Uz,
yeah, the
Uz,
Dominican Republic or Dr. Congo, yeah.
yeah, Uzbekistan and Colombia.
Right. So, sorry, who was first on the list?
Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia.
That was right, yeah. So I'm going to go Portugal first, Colombia second, the Dominican Republic of Congo third, and Uzbekistan fourth.
I agree. I agree. That's all we need to say there. I agree. We'll see. We'll come back to these predictions when we're all wrong.
Um,
Um,
yep.
Good group here and good because it obviously is our lovely group. England in Group L, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama, who you might remember well we beat 7-1 in the World Cup of 2018.
Oh, yes. I mean, yeah, it's faded from my memory, but yes, now you sort of bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama.
Okay, I'm
We
gonna
think
say England for no. I'm. Oh. Hmm. No, I am gonna say England first, Croatia
good. You're not
second.
betting against your own country. Good.
Well, yeah, yeah, but I like to think realistically as well. Um,
Yeah,
I have to try sort of balance that out. But England first, Croatia second, Panama fourth. Who's who've I missed out?
Ghana.
Ghana, right? Yep. So England first, Croatia second, Ghana third, and Panama fourth.
See, I slightly disagree. Croatia's got an amazing team, but it's coming to the end now. So I'm gonna go England. I hate to say this because I might jinx it. Bloody hell. Please, England. England to top the group. Although I say that with apprehension and worry. Come on, boys, let's do it. Let's have them. England to top the group. Ghana to finish second.
Really? Wow.
Croatia, yeah, Croatia to finish third, and Panama to finish last.
Okay.
And that concludes the Mammoth World Cup.
Oh my god, it's
So,
like like Lamar's song "Never Ending Story." It's like it certainly
so
felt like
what?
that doing all that.
What I think we should do, well, is let all the group stages play out, and
Absolutely.
then between the group stages and the last 32, we then, I can't get used to that. I keep wanting to say last
Oh,
16.
it's ridiculous. 32 is
Last,
far too much.
well, it's the equivalent of the whole of the World Cup last time round, 32 teams, and now there's 48. So,
Yeah,
anyway,
just yeah, no, it's wrong in my view.
I agree. But some people say more games, more fun.
Hmm.
Anyway, um, what I think is we let the group stages all play out. We
Yep.
see who gets through. We see who finishes third and gets through, and who doesn't. Um, and then we do a preview of what of the knockout stages. What do you think?
Yes, yes, I think that's a very good thing. Yeah.
Because there's World Cup games on every day, and they're at funny times. So if we try and do all the group games,
That
it's gonna be
that would be
too.
lunacy. That would.
So we'll wrap up the group and then move on to the knockout stages.
Yes.
Please, unless England don't make it, and then I might be ill in bed. But yeah, drowning my sorrows. I'll turn up, but I'll be an alcoholic anyway. Um, but yeah, just quickly, Will, your picks for the World Cup. You can have more than one if you want.
As in winners, are we talking?
Yeah, winners.
Well, I think France have got to be up there. I think they've got a brilliant team, lots of brilliant players. I'm just trying to think. Well, in fact, some members of the, no doubt, of this PSG team, I'm sure they'll get into that France team, like Doué and people like that. So, and plus Mbappe still as well. So yeah, France are a team to watch out for. Argentina, of course, with Messi. Portugal, of course, with the big man Cristiano Ronaldo.
And with the reigning champions, obviously,
Yeah,
Argentina.
absolutely. Germany, I think, are a team that have always got lots of great history, and again, lots of fantastic players as well. Yeah, so those are my picks.
You're not having England in that category now?
Well, I mean, it just... Yeah, I don't know. Although I do... Like I said, I do think that Thomas Tuchel, I think, has got the best chance out of all his predecessors in the fact that he has experience of that winning feeling.
And how about Spain? You missed out Spain, and they're not up there for you.
Yeah, that is true. Although, I'll add Spain to that list. Yeah, I think there's definitely lots of contenders. Yeah, and yeah, I think Thomas Tuchel does still have the best chance of his predecessors because he has that experience of winning trophies and
He's got a team that has done well and has nearly got there the last few years.
Well, exactly. So it should be Thomas. His job should be to sort of, Gareth Southgate laid the foundations still, and it might be that he is the one to complete that final step.
So well, you've made a group prediction of the top teams. Who do you think will win the World Cup?
I thought that was what you just asked me.
No, I did, but you said top teams. You said Spain. You said France were in that.
Oh yeah, I probably confused myself there.
You're out and out winner of the World Cup 2026 is.
Oh blimey! Oh. Okay, now that is difficult. France.
Okay, the team that will surprise us in a good way the most will be.
Oh God, surprise us.
Surprise package.
Well, I guess. Well, you mentioned Japan being probably the best team that they've got in years. So yeah, probably.
Well,
Japan.
You said they'd finish last in their group a minute ago.
Yeah, but
you can't jump on my bandwagon.
Yeah, I
Your
know,
own bloody team.
God, team that surprised you. I don't know. Then I really don't know.
We'll just go with Japan.
All right. Okay.
I'll let you have it, even though you're stealing my thunder. What the biggest disappointment of the World Cup?
Well, it's not happened yet, so you can't.
No, I'm saying the biggest disappointment of the World Cup will be.
The biggest disappointment. Well, it's hard to say that because there's no.
No, but who do you predict the the team you might expect to do well,
Oh, okay,
and
right,
they
okay,
might
yeah, yeah.
the biggest flops.
Well, I mean, obviously the biggest shock would be sort of Germany going out early, I suppose, or something like that. Yeah.
So which team do you think will be the biggest flop? Which will struggle the most that we expect to do well?
Well, Haiti, I would imagine.
Hang on a minute. No, you're not getting my question. Out of the big teams that we expect to be
Oh,
there or
sorry, right,
thereabouts,
okay.
unless you expect Haiti to win the World Cup.
um, so you're asking me which one of the big teams will struggle?
Yes, more than we expect.
Oh, blimey. I will go Brazil then, just because they're a very different team to, sort of what we knew, and they don't really have any of the sort of big names, really.
Good. Well, yeah, good answer that. So, for my money, to win the World Cup, I'm going to say France as well. I think they'll just have too much, but you can never write off Spain or Argentina or even Brazil. You can't write off,
Yes.
but France to win it. Biggest surprises or dark horses to do
Oh,
well,
don't
maybe
start
not
that
to.
bollocks.
What?
You were going all about like dark forces and dark magic. Oh no, I can't stand
No,
them.
I said dark horses. Horses. A
Hmm.
horse. Not forces. Horses.
Dark horses.
Yeah, they say dark horse. It means who people might not expect
Oh
to do
yes,
well.
yes. Sorry.
God, like God, I give up on this fucking show. The
Sorry.
fucking shit show. Um, shit show radish. Anyway, biggest dark horses. I'm obviously gonna go for Japan, even though you stole my thunder. Um, biggest biggest strugglers. Hmm. Who would expect to do well? Hmm. I think no, because they're all so. Will they put them there? I think that the Netherlands will disappoint once
Oh,
again.
okay, right.
A big footballing nation. I don't know if they've ever won the World Cup, but certainly a big nation. But I think they'll flatter to deceive. Brazil was a good shout. Brazil was a good shout. Yeah, and then also I think Croatia, but they are older. So
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
they've sort of come to the
I'll
end of
stick
that cycle, haven't they?
I'll stick with what I've said. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
absolutely. But it wouldn't surprise me if Belgium again disappoint. They seem to have a habit
Yeah,
of
because
their.
Belgium had a lot of great potential, didn't they? But they just couldn't make. Very much like that PSG of like the Ibrahimovic years, for example.
Yeah, yeah,
Just could not
absolutely.
make that final step.
Well, we will see. Are we ready to close up?
Yes, yeah, just a few things to close up. Arne Slot was sacked and replaced with Iriola. I just want to get my thoughts on this first, and I want to get this off my chest. I I'm very angry with this decision. I think it's absolutely disgusting, and I also think it was completely wrong to sack Slot. Yes, I know it's been a bad season, but let's not forget it's been a season of quite remarkable circumstances. The death of Diego Jota, and I know we've said that plenty of times in this show and stuff. And look, Slot, but he just managed to get them in the Champions League. I don't think a manager should be sacked if you get them in the Champions League. Now, if you don't get Europe, that's fair enough. If you get relegated from the Premier League, fair enough. But unless you do something off the field that's really bad to get sacked, you should not be getting sacked.
Right, okay.
I think it's
You don't?
absolutely disgraceful, and I
No,
think
it's
I
not. But
completely disagree with the decision. I
yeah,
think it's so
I think
wrong, I really do. I believe that. Slot should have been given until Christmas, at least.
is that it?
Yes,
Is
yes.
the ball?
Sorry, yeah. I just needed to get that off my chest.
You can't stop it, and I was like, okay, and then oh no, what? Somebody wound him up again, put his batteries back in. But for me, it's an interesting decision. They didn't have a great season, Liverpool, whichever way you look at it. They still finished fifth, though, and got into the Champions League. But I do think that all the noises were that Slot was going to stay, although I've heard that some of the players weren't that happy, and things were maybe unraveling behind the scenes. He was going to get his own coaching
And
staff.
Salah didn't
Some
help with
more.
that. Shame on him.
No.
Shame on him. Absolutely.
Right, well, there's Liverpool. There's Will slugging off a Liverpool legend. There we go.
Look, I don't care.
But
He may be a legend, but you shouldn't bring down your manager like that. It's highly unprofessional, and you're really ruining your legacy.
you know who I've realised who your voice reminds me of?
Who?
Will. Chris Sutton.
Oh.
It's the kind of thing he'd say. Anyway.
Right, yeah.
But I think it's a strange decision. There was talk of Slot bringing in more coaches for a reshape this summer. Liverpool don't, if they back a manager, they don't normally then sack them straight away. So I think something's gone on behind the scenes. I think all was not well with Slot. I think maybe it started to lose the dressing room. I would have given him till Christmas, but with the fact it's Liverpool and they normally back the manager once they say they're gonna stick with him, I think something's happened that we don't know about. To be honest,
Well, yeah, that
in
is
the
true.
last,
Yeah.
because when Iriola was first on the market after it was announced he was leaving Bournemouth and Maresca and most notably Xavi Alonso, Liverpool were like, nope, we're sticking. So there's obviously been issues behind the scenes. It's very unlike Liverpool, to be fair, of the big clubs to sack a manager who you might think should have a bit more time. But it is what it is, and best of luck to Andoni Iraola, who I think we all agree is a brilliant manager.
Absolutely, and in fact, he's a Bournemouth legend. They should build a statue for him.
I'm not sure about that. He didn't win anything.
No, he got them into Europe. Bournemouth have not been in Europe in years
Yeah, but
I think that deserves a statue.
But Eddie Howe got them into the Premier League, having taken over when
they've been in the Premier League before, though.
Not before Eddie Howe got in.
Are you sure? Oh, right.
Yeah, and they'd never been to Europe before.
Well, no, I think a statue is more worthy building of getting them into Europe because that's very very unlikely.
But he didn't win anything.
Yeah, but
Oliver
yeah, but
Oliver Glasner deserves
yes,
a
but
statue because he won 2 trophies for
yes,
both.
but it's an historic.
Iraola's a
It's an
brilliant manager,
it's an
top
unlikely
manager, arguably one of the best managers in Europe right now. But the bottom line is, he gets a lovely send off, a lovely cheer. He gets he'll be remembered forever. He gets an album, but a statue, not too far.
No, I think it's because it's an unlikely historical achievement.
Mm, right, but Bournemouth under Eddie Howe finished ninth a few years ago. They were only 3 spots off where they are now.
Yes, but because Ariola has done the job, he got them into Europe. Eddie Howe didn't.
Yeah, but they've not won anything.
No, well, I think because look, it's very unlikely that you wouldn't expect Bournemouth to get into Europe, would you?
Would have you expected Palace to win an FA Cup and a Europa Conference League a couple of years ago?
No, exactly, and that's why Oliver Glasner as well deserves a statue. People
Yes, of
people can
course
have
he does.
statues for different
Because
things.
because he won trophies. He won 2 trophies, 2 major trophies in just over 12 months for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but but you could say this is a fairy tale for Bournemouth getting Europe. No, no, I
It
think
is a fair, it is a fairy tale for Bournemouth, but Iriel has only been there 3 years.
well, no,
It,
I
it,
think he
it's,
deserves a statue,
Eddie
Lewis. I
Howe did
really
a
do
lot of
believe
the
that.
Eddie Howe did a lot of the background work, and Iriola's an amazing coach, I've got no doubt,
He has
and has
taken them
taken.
one step further than Eddie Howe has, though.
Well, yes, he did. Of course, he did. But does that deserve a statue when he's not
Yes.
won a trophy? Hmm. Well, I disagree.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
but what we do agree on is that who deserves a statue more, Oliver Glasner or Iraola?
Okay, if it comes down to that, okay, Oliver Glasner.
Oh, okay,
But
all
equally, I
right.
think they both deserve statues. I really do. I strongly believe in that.
Should have Roberto Martinez got a statue then?
Yes,
Wigan.
yes, for
Oh,
winning the FA Cup with Wigan, yes.
right,
Yes, people should
right.
get
Okay.
statues if they've done, especially very unlikely
If
things
they
that you wouldn't
win
expect to
things,
happen.
if they win things, yeah, and they're unlikely to happen, or if they are, they win lots of things. But to just get them into Europe, no, not enough for a statue. And he's left. If he was, if he'd stayed another year and won the
So if
Europa
Glasner though,
League,
Glasner has left, do you think would you stop them
yeah,
building a statue?
but Glasner's left with 2 trophies, 3 if you count the Charity Shield.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, I do think they both deserve a statue.
Right, we'll
If I was
agree to this.
Bournemouth, I'd be commissioning a statue of Iraola
Hmm.
because he has
I
made
wonder.
history with Bournemouth. An
Yeah, but
extremely
the,
unlikely thing.
yeah, but so did Eddie Howe took over Bournemouth in 2008 when they nearly went out the Football League entirely and were bankrupt, and 8 years later got them to the Premier League.
But I think on paper, for a club like Bournemouth, Europe
So do
is
you think? Do
more
you
unlikely
think? Do you?
than the Premier League.
Yes, yes, but so do you think that Areola did a better job than Eddie Howe?
Yes.
Even though Eddie Howe got them through all 4 divisions.
I can't deny that's good, but because of the stature of Bournemouth, what Arayola's done is better. Yes.
Well, they were already only 3 places off. Whatever. Okay. You can have your statue and shove it up your arse, Will.
Okay.
I'll build you a statue just so I can shove it. And I'll build you a statue of Christina Aguilera.
Oh, don't start.
That's Will's favourite singer, by the way, everyone.
Listening to her
So,
would turn you into a statue.
so please send in for next season your theme tunes of Christina Aguilera that you want the show to be
Piss off.
to be included. Yeah.
Shine where the sun don't shine.
He especially likes your beautiful, sorry. So, yeah, we all
Thank
bring
you,
that in.
thank you.
Right. So, um, yeah. So if you were anybody who's a builder out there wants to build a statue of Christina Aguilera and shove it in his bedroom,
No,
let it
she
happen.
absolutely does not deserve a statue.
I think you should have a statue in your room. She should.
Absolutely not, no.
Anyway, um, on a more serious note, I would just like to say on something we haven't spoken about.
Oh,
Um,
Kieran McKenna, it's been announced today he's leaving Ipswich Town.
yes, he is. He's taking a break, surprisingly.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, Ipswich are looking for a new manager. Crystal Palace are looking like they're gonna
Yep,
hire
Pierre
Pierre.
Sage. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right.
Yeah, I think it can be. I think we say Sage, but it's Sage. I
Oh,
think
okay,
they
right, yeah,
say.
yeah.
But yeah, Pierre Sage or Sage. Um, Fulham are looking for a new manager after
Exactly, because
Marco
Marco
Silva.
Silva's exit has been announced. And can I say, I, I think that should have been
Should
clarified
he
months
have a
ago. Really.
statue? Should he have a statue? Well, should Marco Silva have a
No,
statue? No. You sure now?
no, 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 absolutely not. No,
You sure about
no, he didn't get Fulham into Europe. I think to get a statue, you need to do two things: either win a trophy, or if a club is extremely unlikely to get into Europe and you get a statue.
that? Right, right. Very good. Um, so yeah, Fulham looking for a new manager now. He has been confirmed as the um. Help me out here, Will. He is.
Benfica, yeah. Oh, he's been linked with Benfica. I don't think he's been officially
I
appointed.
think he has now. I think he's confirmed as a
Oh right, oh,
Benfica.
okay. I must have missed that. That must have been very recently today.
After it's today after Jose Mourinho is
Yep,
about to
back at
sign for
Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid. After a strange appointment in some ways. I mean, Jose is
Well,
a
yeah,
winner,
I don't. It could
but
go.
is
I
he
was speaking to our very own
a
Jordan
good
Eartham
pastor?
yesterday, and he said it could go on two ways: either winning a trophy or in tears. Because that
Yeah,
is the
but
Mourinho way: winning something or falling out with somebody.
win or bust.
Exactly.
But yeah, Florentina Tino Perez won the
Yep, back
election
again.
to stay on as Real Madrid
This
president.
way, I
We
think he'll be
don't
president until he drops dead.
have. Okay. I caught me off guard a bit. Um, um, it's yeah, absolutely. And but best of luck to Jose. On to a more serious note, in a World Cup friendly involving Denmark, Christian Eriksen collapsed on the pitch. You'll remember that in 2021 he collapsed during the Euros tournament and had a cardiac arrest, and thankfully was saved, and his life was saved after amazing medical intervention, and he made a remarkable recovery, having a pacemaker fitted, and a device that similar to a similar to a shock machine, a defibrillator, sorry, which would shock his heart back into rhythm if he if it was to happen again. And unfortunately, um, it did happen again over the weekend. Christian Eriksen was seen to have collapsed, and luckily the defibrillator did its job, and he was, I believe, sat up talking on the pitch, and has gone to hospital. Not sure if he's been discharged, but yeah, he seems okay, and we just want to, from everybody here, from Without Having Kicked a Ball, send our best wishes and our love to Christian. Yeah, and our condolences for missing out on the World Cup, which he will. But some things are obviously bigger than football, and yeah, an amazing player, an amazing person for what he's been through, and come back. Whether he'll play again, who knows? That'll be a decision he will have to take with the medical professionals. Obviously, I think it's around 35, 36 now, so um, he will have to take that decision. But we I'd like to, on behalf of everyone here, and everyone connected with the show, take the time to wish Christian a speedy recovery. Somebody we know very well from his Premier League year, especially at Tottenham and then Brentford, after he had had his cardiac arrest in 2021, and then Manchester United. So a wonderful player. Yeah, a great guy, I've heard, and yeah, sending all our love and best wishes. Christian. Well, that is it for today's bonus episode of Without Having Kicked the Ball. We will be back probably now at the conclusion of the group stages of the World Cup to review them. That will be all Without Having Kicked the Ball.